And welcome to this game here at Frogner Stadion between Norway and Sweden. We are ready for what is the group match here of the World Championship 2020 in bandy. And my name is Sverre Krogh Sundbø, and I'm sitting here together with Jesper Thor.
Hello.
And we are gonna guide you through what is a national pride game between Norway and Sweden, because these are two teams that may not have too much to play for right now, because as we can see with 4 games played, Russia is already in second place, but it's a bit of an internal rivalry, and these teams are really fighting for bragging rights before the semifinals.
Of course, and Sweden wants to test the Norwegian team, see how good they are, in case they will meet them later in the tournament.
Because what we have now is we have the first place team is going to play the 4th place team in a semifinal.
Yes.
So what it looks like right now is that Sweden is going to win the group and play then either USA or Finland. That is going to be decided with the last game between USA and Finland. But so far they've beaten the Finnish team 1-0. They beat Russia 3-2, and then they crushed the American team 8-0. But this American team has been pretty okay so far, Jesper.
Yes, they have. They played 1-1 against Norway in the opening match of this tournament, as we can see here. And Norway took a strong victory against Finland with 2-1, and then lost to Russia earlier today, 2-0.
And that's an interesting game, because that game was quite similar to what we're viewing today. For you, those of you watching the screen right now, it's a quite messy weather situation in Oslo today, and it's not exactly a dry pitch. And right now the machinery and the working people here at Frogner Stadion have been working non-stop to get the water away from the ice, and it's looking better than it did half an hour ago. But let's take a listen to what some of the coaches and one of the players had to say prior to this very important duel between Norway and Sweden.
Om at norsk hovedtrener, vi I ordentlig ruskevær I dag. Hvordan påvirker det en kamp mot Sverige?
Nei, det klart det. Med så mye vann på banen, så blir det mye å slå langt. Altså, vi får ikke brukt skøyteteknikken så bra, da. Men det kanskje det gagner oss bedre enn Sverige.
Ja, for hvordan det med kølleteknikken til de norske jentene? Holder vi høyde med svenskene der?
Ja, det mener jeg. Absolutt vi gjør. Så får vi til det vi ønsker å få til, så kan det være en fordel for oss med dårlig føre.
Det blir en annen kamp hvis man skal møte dem senere I turneringen, eller møte topplagene senere. Har du en annen tilnærming nå, eller trener dere før semifinalen?
Vi får ikke trent noe nå før semifinalen. Det vi ferdig med. Så alle vet hva de skal gjøre, så det ikke noe problem.
Lykke til med kampen, og hvis du skal spå et resultat?
Jeg må innrømme at 0-2. Så defensiv jeg akkurat til den, så tar vi det med finalen.
Her med svensk forbundskaptein Magnus Nordin, og det en dag med lite spesielt väder. Hvordan takler dine jenter det?
Nej, men det bara att gilla läget. Vi har ju spelat en match tidigare idag där det också regnade lite grann, så att vi får väl justera lite i vårt spel så, men vi är ju vana att det kan vara så här inom bandy, så vi lägger ingen fokus på det.
Sverige ett lag som traditionellt slår Norge I kvinnebandy, men hur tycker du om det norske laget så långt I år?
Nej, men jag tycker att de har stått upp bra. De har ju några duktiga spelare som spelar I Sverige bland annat som vi har bra koll på. Så att lite sämre förhållanden så, vi kanske inte kan göra riktigt allt som vi vill så där I vårt spel. Det är svårt att spela efter isen så där, så då jämnas ju oddsen ut lite grann, så vi är inställda på att det blir en tuff match.
Og de svenske jentene klarer å mobilisere til en så her match I trots for at tabellen nu ser ut til å være lite avklaret?
Ja, det tror jag. De vill ju spela och vi vill vinna alla matcher I den här turneringen så där, men det är ju alltid en utmaning när det blir så här och ganska kort om tid. Nu har ju Norge ännu tuffare program som har precis spelat mot Ryssland så, så att ja, det blir tufft, men jag tror att de klarar av det bra.
Og når det gjelder generelt for kvinnebandy, altså begynner det å nærme seg en tid hvor det kan være flere lag enn bare Sverige og Ryssland som preger toppen?
Om jag jämför med Kina för 2 år sedan, det också var med, så tycker jag att både Norge och Finland ser starkare ut än de gjorde för 2 år sedan. Att det har blivit det är inte så lika stort avstånd mellan de 2 nationerna och Sverige och Ryssland som traditionellt sett brukar spela final. Så det känns som att Norge och Finland närmar sig Sverige och Ryssland.
Lykke til med matchen.
Tack för det.
Charlotte Selbæk, du kjenner disse svenske jentene bedre enn de aller fleste. Hvordan synes du Norge egentlig står mot Sverige?
De ligger jo litt foran oss, men jeg synes at vi må få ut alt det beste fra hver og en, så kan vi matche dem.
Ja, for kan vi virkelig matche Sverige på en toppdag?
Ja, det kan vi hvis vi holder deffen. Sverige er veldig gode, men de blir litt grinete når de ikke får inn ballen. Så jo lenger vi holder dem, jo bedre blir det for oss.
Ja, grinete, det er vel kanskje noe man også blir i disse værforholdene. Er dette noe som dere kan bruke til deres fordel i dag?
Ja, men det er klart at vi går inn med innstillingen om å bare krige. Og det er klart at Sverige, som er et litt mer spillende lag, de blir litt hemmet av det, men vi går inn med 100.
Finnes det en svakhet på det svenske laget?
Sverige er ganske komplette egentlig, men det kan jo være været da, som gjør dem litt usikre. Og som jeg sa, at de blir litt grinete etter hvert når de ikke får inn ballen.
And to quickly summarize for our English-speaking audience out there, the Swedish coach was saying how they're satisfied so far with how the game is being played, and that it's not only Russia and Sweden being as dominating as they were in China 2 years ago. They're continuously improving behind them, and especially Norway and Finland. And then at the end here we had Charlotte Selbæk, who plays in Sweden, who was saying that she believes that Norway can take this scalp. And what do you believe, Jesper? You know both Swedish and Norwegian bandy very well.
Yeah, I think Norway will have an opportunity because of the wind and the rain. Sweden won't be able to play as much on the ice as they want. Norway definitely has a chance if they go out with an attacking plan. And we have seen that Norway has only conceded 4 goals in the first matches, and yeah, I think it will be a tight match. I hope so.
Well, we are now getting ready to have the players hit the ice here at Frogner Stadion. We are due for a game between Norway and Sweden. It is the last match in the group stage for both of these teams, and while the group may be quite settled, this is really a game that will show how ready these teams are for the semifinals beginning tomorrow. Already good to see Swedish fans who are showing up here at Frogner Stadion. It's a cold, wet, windy day here in Oslo, and that it's not a typical bandy weather type atmosphere out here.
No, it's not. The wind makes it even colder than it would have been if the wind wasn't here. So yeah, but nice to see that the fans show up.
We're now just waiting for the Zambonis to finish up here in the middle of the ice. It's been quite a bit of work from these trucks who have first they've been trying to just shove the ice away with clearing as much water as possible, and on coach's instruction they wanted to also run the ice here prior to starting the match. And what do you think about the choice to actually run a proper Zamboni in this wet weather?
I think it's a smart choice. The rain makes the ice get the dimples, almost like a curling ice. But with the Zambonis, you can flatten it out, so it will be a smoother ice surface in the start than if we had just run with clearing the water. And we'll see how long it stays this way. I'm not sure it will be too long, but definitely improvement from just when they shove the water off.
And now we see that the wind is also starting to pick up here, and while we also watching that the players, they're starting to get ready, they're marching onto the field very, very soon, and we're getting ready for what is to be the final group match between Norway and Sweden here from Frogner Stadion.
Norge, Sverige klokken 18. Vi kun få minutter unna.
And to actually introduce the teams here, let's take the Norwegian team to begin with. Number 1, Mathilde Veding, who plays for Sagene Bandy. We have player number 4, Nora Karita Bakke, who plays for NTNUI. Player number 5, Lene Skrettingland. She is a Stabæk player. We have player number 6, Julia Alborg, who plays in the Swedish league for Hammarby. We have player number 7, Lena Åmot, who plays for Drammen and Sagene. Player number 8, Helle Berntsen Lila, who plays for Stabæk. We have Martine Holm from Stabæk, Julie Storvik from Høvik, Ingrid Bjonge, player number 11 from Västerås, Stine Pedersen, who plays for Høvik, Laura Follesø, also plays for Høvik, and then we have Martine Kragsveien from Høvik, Charlotte Marie Selbekk, who plays for Västerås, Ruth Eline Rutti Borge, who plays for Nordre Sande, and then
And we also have number 15 there, Sandra Follesø, Laura's bigger sister, and Ingebjørg Kval Knudsen from Västerås in Sweden.
To this Women's Bandy World Championship and to the city of Oslo. On behalf of the Federation of International Bandy, this match will be played 2 times 30 minutes between Norway and Sweden. Resten foregår på morsmål. Sverige sin nasjonalsang lyder på Frogner stadion.
And we
start the match, and we are to present the teams. You are free to go. May the best team win. We'll do the lineup because of the weather. We do that in the warm-up period. Sverige stiller med følgende mannskap i denne matchen. Nummer 1 og målvakt Sara Karlström. Nummer 2 Lisa Östman. Nummer 6 Emma Alander. Nummer 8 Malin.
And we're also going to start to do the Swedish team here on the commentary, where we're starting with the goalkeeper of the Swedish teams. Player number 1, Sara Karlström, who is also a goalkeeper for Västerås. Player number 2, playing half position, Lisa Östman. Player number 6, Emma Alander, who plays on the left wing, who has her daily work in Skutskär. Player number 8 we see here, Malin Persson, who plays In the midfield position and for Västerås, we have Ida Friman, player number 10, who plays for Villa. Sanna Gustafsson, the right half, who plays for Skutskär. Malin Kuhl, she's player number 14, plays the right back for Västerås. Player number 16, Frida Rutqvist, who plays left back. Player number 18, Anna Foselius, central midfielder. We have player number 19, Matilda Svenler, who plays a left midfielder. Player number 21, Linnea Larsson. Player number 22, Tilda Strøm. Player number 23, Vilma Josefsson. 24, Matilda Plan. And 25, Ebba Fridlund. Before we see the Norwegian team here, where we have the goalkeeper, Mathilde Veding, as mentioned, in the back. And we went through the positions earlier, but which players here are the ones who are able to stand against such a Swedish team, Jesper?
In the Norwegian team, definitely Charlotte Selbekk, number 18, has played in Sweden for 6 years now, I think. In Kareby and Västerås, has won the championship there 2 or 3 times. And then we also have some other players playing in the Swedish league, as Julia Alborg, Ingrid Bjonge, and Ingeborg Kval Knudsen. So they definitely know the pace that's going to be out here from the Swedish team.
But they are extremely important as well for this team. I mean, playing in the Norwegian league, it's hard to train for this kind of bandy.
Yes, it is. In Sweden, most of the matches are inside. The weather doesn't affect the game. So it's gonna be fun to see how Sweden handles this wind. I see that Sweden have chosen to have the wind in the back in the first half. I think if Norway can hold away the goals in the first half here and get the wind in the back in the second half, we're gonna have a very interesting match.
And while we're speaking of this wind, it was like someone heard you, Jesper, because it started blowing really heavily out here on the field, and these players are really going to feel this. Having the wind in your back really makes a difference also to the stamina and how long it can hold out here.
It does. And the Swedish team will have the wind in their face when they're going in the direction of their own goal to defend. And as the match starts here, we see a long ball, which will be what we're going to see a lot of today.
It'll be interesting to see also what we can expect from the goalkeeper of Norway, Mathilde Langmo. She has not only conceded 4 goals so far in the tournament.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see. I don't know how many shots she has had on her in these matches, but definitely 4 goals in 3 matches. It's very good.
Bit of a harsh treatment down by the left side, and instead we have a stroke here by the Swedes. They're trying to go behind the Norwegian line here, and obviously trying to use the wind as well to get behind.
Yeah, the Swedes will have to get the ball behind the Norwegian lines and have greater speed on the skates to catch the ball behind the Norwegian defense. With the wind in the face, the Norwegian will probably hit the ball into the penalty area of Sweden and try to create something from there. Maybe get a free stroke or a penalty or something like that.
Gustafsson who plays that forward, and suddenly it looks as though Tilda Strøm was all alone, but it's called for an offsides.
Looks good to me.
It's also a little bit of a sign of a confidence that Norway manages to keep a straight backline in the beginning, because, you know, feeling like an underdog, sometimes that may reflect on your backline being a little bit wobbly in the beginning.
Yeah, very important to get a good start, get the self-confidence up, feel like you have control of Sweden's forwards.
Obviously, we can see that they're trying to put quite a few players in front, looking for the long ball instead, but now they're wanting to play through the middle, and that's also a result of the weather. I mean, it's not easy to play a typical passing game and trying to build your game up when it's so wet on the ice.
No, it's not. Normally you would come in from the sides, pick up space in through the middle, pass the ball, try to go around the defense of Norway maybe. But Sweden almost splits their team in 2 parts, with maybe 1 or 2 players laying in the middle to control it. And here Norway's through.
Oh, that's a big chance. That's Ruth Rutti, who tries to put through a pretty sneaky pass in the wind against. And we're talking about how he can use the wind in the back, but also it can be quite sneaky to hit the long ball with the wind against, considering that it's fewer balls that actually go all the way to the line or to the goalkeeper.
Yes, the ball will stop faster than you think, and if the Swedish defense doesn't calculate right, Norway can pick up the ball and get chances.
We're actually starting to maintain a little bit of the ball here in the initial 2.5 minutes, but instead Sweden takes over and tries to once again play through, and that is a scary intervention by Borge, but she gets away with it.
Yeah, she does.
I guess one of the quickest things you learn in bandy when you play defender is to always get your body behind
Yeah,
those
you need
clubs.
to have the body behind the club. Here Norway comes.
Follesø, who gets a chance to break through, but it's a little bit stagnant as she wants to take the last push there.
Yeah.
But first shot belongs to Norway.
Yeah, it does. It does. And that's positive.
Instead we have the Swedes trying to build it up. The pass from Larsson not as
good
on point. Instead we have Alander who picks it up, passes that onwards. A shot here from Persson that hits the side. Sorry, that was Linnea Larsson who had the finish for Sweden.
Oh. Norway gets a free stroke there. Opportunity to move the team up in the field. Hits a long ball.
Gets a decent stroke. Looks like a high stick perhaps, but the referee says play on. Instead it's a throw from the goalkeeper.
Sweden tried to play by the eyes a little bit here.
I'm surprised that's good defending. Very, very good defending. And that's interesting to see how you have the two backs coming in the center and the left back actually squeezing in tight and making it impossible to break through. And that's really the only chance you have of stopping a player coming in like that.
Yes, it is. It's important that you can't stop her by yourself. You need to be two or more people, or you're just gonna get past.
But I'm a little bit surprised with the distance Norway is playing from their defensive midfielders to the back line, because it's too easy here for Linnea Persson to get through and start those attacks.
Yes, it is. I think they are trying to do the same as Sweden's looking for, to split the team a little bit. It's important though that when you're in defense, you need to get the team parts to connect again, or we're going to get spaces like this and Sweden's going to walk all over them.
That's a good tackle there. It's a free stroke, but the alternative is a lot worse for Norway, and it's a dangerous position here for Sweden.
It is. We're going to see a lot of shots from this distance today, I think.
And it's funny, you have a set amount of those tackles you can make before the referee starts pulling out blue cards.
Yeah.
But
and there's a goal. It's a variant. Norway puts up a huge wall to stop the shot, and Sweden plays it out around, and the shot goes between the legs of the Norwegian goalkeeper, I think.
It's Sanna Gustafsson who's the goal scorer for Sweden, something that is obviously, as you're saying, a rehearsed move by the Swedish team. Plays that to the long side. But it's a good finish. I wouldn't say that Norway necessarily does an awful job in their marking. Could have possibly been a little closer, but let's give the Swedes credit for a well-exercised and well-developed variant here.
Yes, absolutely.
1-0 after we've played for 6 minutes here at Frogner Stadium. It's Sweden who got the start they were hoping for, and that's difficult for Norway, because the chance Norway has in a game like this is to try to frustrate the Swedes and really have them struggle to get that first goal on the board.
Yeah, as Charlotte said here before the match, if the Swedes doesn't get their goals, they start to get frustrated, and that's a positive thing for Norway. But here they have an early goal, and let's see what Norway can do.
Are you a little bit surprised that Norway chooses to play that many players in the wall before the shooter?
No, because the Swedes have good shooters. So a shot from there could also be a goal chance. So you have to put up that wall. A little bit surprised that they have so many covering in the front of the goalkeeper and no one not spreading out to covering the pass that we saw. But as you said, great maneuver from Sweden.
Oh, that's a bit of a wobble here for the Norwegian goalkeeper, and instead we have a corner for the Swedish team.
We have.
No goal here. We see Norwegian goalkeeper spending some time at the basket, choosing to not pick up the ball right away so that she gets a little bit more time.
Yeah. Uses the time she has, 6 seconds to pick up the ball from the basket and throw it out.
But here the Swedes are getting speed once again in the midfield. Plays that through. It's quite open on the left side, and that is a poor pass because you have 2 wide open players for the Swedes here.
If that pass hits the club of the Swedish player, I think we'll see another goal. That's how good the Swedes are. Norway is struggling to get the ball upfield now.
It's also interesting to see this number 24 in the Swedish team, Matilda Plan. When she comes, when she manages to accelerate, she's really a force to be reckoned with here, and she slides through this Norwegian team like a warm knife in butter almost.
Yeah, she's an excellent player, both on the skates and with the stick.
And once again, she has the ball. She's leading forward. She's going for a shot on the right-hand side. Instead, she plays it in to the middle, trying to hit Matilda Svenler. But good defensive effort here by Norway, and it's a corner instead.
Yeah, and corners can be critical in these types of games where we normally don't see that many goals when the ice is bad. Norway have good corner shoots. Charlotte, number 18. So if they can manage to maybe get some corners, that's a goal opportunity. Picks it up in front of the shooters. That's good defensive by Norway.
It's always great to see when they're ready for this move, because if you're not ready for it, you tend to be able to skate through on the right side and then either go for a finish from a sharp angle or just push it back 45 degrees to another shooter.
Exactly.
Picked up here by Ida Friman. Friman who slides through this Norwegian midfield.
Very technical player.
That's a strong pass as well, and there's a chance for Sweden coming through on the left side. Passes in through the middle. It's wide open, but goes all the way over the line, and that's throw out for Norway. And you can see a Norwegian team right now which is playing with their backs against the ropes. Obviously they're also playing against the wind. We shouldn't forget that when if they manage to hold down to 0-1 here until halftime, it may be a different game in the second half.
It definitely can be. You get a lot more speed in the build-up phase when you have the wind in your back, and you can come at the defensive team with much greater speed like this.
Once again we have Sanna Gustafsson who tries to do something from the left side. And I like that by Norwegian defense. They're trying to angle their stops outwards and inwards towards new corner shots, because that, as you said earlier, is something that could be very dangerous in this surface.
That's very important. But as you see, to drive the ball from their own penalty area to Sweden's goal in this wind, it's gonna take a lot of power out of the legs from the Norwegian girls.
And one who looks like she's really struggling in the wind so far is the Norwegian Selbekk, who, let's see the shot, and it's a goal for Sweden. Once again, it's a goal from Sweden. It's almost an identical goal to what we had earlier. It's hit between the legs from the left side, and it's player 21, Linnea Larsson, who puts that through.
Yeah, it's almost a counter-attack Something Norway should definitely watch out for. If you lose the ball, Sweden can build up. You see he walks around the whole Norwegian defense.
Difficult situation here for Martina Holm, who's supposed to cover on the right side there. She gets a misstep on the way, and that makes her fall quite far behind here. But 2 shots from relatively sharp angle on the left side, who leads to a 2-goal lead here for Sweden.
Yes. But I think the Norwegians are doing a good job defensively, trying to get the Swedes on the outside. I mean, you can't do so much more. The Swedes are on a higher skate level and ball handling level. So if they can just push them a little bit further out, so that the angle is as sharp, and then maybe the shots will go outside.
It's a good stop there by Bjonge. Bjonge decides to play that forward, but right onto a Swedish stick, and Swedes can once again build up from their own backside. Once again, Swedes accumulating speed on the mid. This time they manage to stop Malin Persson.
Norway has a little bit room on the left side here.
A little bit empty in the middle here. Unfortunately, only one player was able to play there. Now it's Lena Åmot, who was properly wrapped between 4 Swedish players. Instead, once again, the Swedes are starting from their mid side, and this time playing out to Tilda Ström. Ström, who plays it through, and that's a dangerous pass, but it runs into the stick there of Helle Berntsen-Liran. It's interesting with this player who plays here, Hille Berntsen-Liljord, who last year was out because she gave birth to a child. It's actually interesting with this Stabæk team that have been fighting in the top of women's bandy in Norway for a long time. It's them and Høvik who are really the top teams, but 2 out of 3 Stabæk players actually gave birth last year and are already back on the pitch playing here in the World Championship, which is quite impressive.
Oh.
The other Stabæk player who recently became a mother is also the captain for this team, Lene Skrettingland. But it's they become quite vulnerable, some of the Norwegian teams, to situations like that. For example, childbirth. Last year when Stabæk lost a couple of players to pregnancies and not being able to play, that actually caused them to not be able to field a proper team in the Norwegian league. So they were out for a year.
That's right. It's not too many female bandy players in the Norwegian league.
And now we have 3-0 here for Sweden. Fights their way through on the side, and we have player number 14, Malin Kuhl.
No.
Sorry, that was 24. Matilda Plan once again, who comes through with extreme speed and puts that in for the Swedes. And it's getting a bit one-sided here for the Swedes. I think that the coin toss is actually proving quite detrimental to this Norwegian team, because the Swedish team who gets to play with the wind against their back is even more lethal than what they usually are.
It is, and the decision to bring out the Zambonis has made this ice playable to a certain degree. And the Swedes are taking advantage of that right now, just speeding through, passing through the Norwegian team. Look at this. A shot outside.
That was Matilda Svenlid who came through and tried a shot from the far side, but that goes a little bit wide of the Norwegian goal. But we're talking about how Stabæk in the Norwegian League suffered without being able to play last year. This year they're back on the field, and that is good, because otherwise Høvik would have completely run away with the title, and now they have some proper opposition for it.
Yes.
Once again, shot here for the Swedes. Puts that in the far right corner. Once again, it's a goal for the Swedish team, and that is player number 19, Matilda Svenler. And while Sweden is getting jiggy with it here on the Frogner Stadium, it's proving quite difficult here for the Norwegian team. And how does this affect the team going into a semi-final against Russia? Do they lose all confidence playing a game like this?
It's hard to say. Let's hope they don't. Sweden is a better team on the paper, but as you say, it's important to try to get a good feeling into the semi-finals.
Once again, we have a Swedish chance after a Norwegian mistake. They
score
put it
again.
Up in the net ceiling. Was that a goal by the referee? It seemed
Yes,
like
it's
some
a goal.
weird hand gesture there, but it was just pointing towards the midfield. Once again, Swedish goal, and this is turning into a massacre here.
Yes, it is. Now it's running away. The Norwegian team here gathering, taking a talk, trying to do something different. Look at this finish.
That's excellent, because it already should have been a penalty prior to that after Sandra Follesø decided to take her down, but being able to put that up in the ceiling after being tackled like that, that's really impressive.
That's pretty impressive. And as you mentioned, the two first shots between the legs of the Norwegian goalkeepers, the last three has been almost impossible to take for a Norwegian goalkeeper. So,
but it's interesting that all 4 out of the 5 goals so far have come from the sharp angle on the left side.
yes, it's true, but that's where they find an opening. That can be because of the way they play, and the players on the left side have a lot of ball, like Sanna Gustafsson driving much of the play from Sweden here in the start.
Gustafsson here trying to work her way forward. Instead, she sees good Norwegian defense for once in the midfield and has to start over again. But 3 players trying to get behind. That flies all the way behind the line, and we have a throw out from the Norwegian goalkeeper. So after almost 21 minutes played, we have Sweden up 5-0 here against Norway in what is the last group stage match of this World Bandy Championship 2020. Tomorrow we're going to start playoff games, and then we have the first place team in the group stages is going to play number 4, and then second and third team play each other.
That's right, and the first semi-final is at 11 o'clock local time. And the second one is at 2.
To complete the teams who are going to play there, we can tell you all that in the other group stage match that was recently finished, Finland beat USA 3-2. So that means that Finland is going to finish number 4 in this group, and that means that Sweden here is going to play Finland tomorrow, whereas Norway is going to play Russia. And we don't even have to bar a miracle, even though Sweden scores once again, because regardless, even if Norway was to come back and score 7 goals, still this Swedish team would win their group, and it's looking more and more likely that they're also going to win this game, as Marlon Persson, she comes in and puts that into the net and scores the 6th goal here for the Swedes.
You can see the Norwegian girls are reaching the hand up for offside, but definitely no offside. It's number 9, Martine Holm there. the wrong side of the Swedish player.
And as we can see from the replay there, it was not only not an offside, it was probably onside by 2 meters.
Yes. Norway takes a timeout.
And right now, this is not about the result of this game. It's about trying to come into tomorrow with some semblance of a good feeling for Norway. So it's quite important this timeout. It matters that if they can do a timeout here, try to get defensively organized, keep at it, stay with this 6-0 until halftime. Maybe build a little when they have the wind in their back in the second half.
Yeah. It's important to, as you say, to fix the defense first. The defense is the most important part of the game. Norway have conceded more goals just in this first half than they had in the whole tournament before. So they will probably try to fix the defense, and then they will go in half-time and try to use the wind in their backs to have a little more ball, maybe create some bigger chances.
And after the timeout, Norway is ready to begin again. 0-6 here at Frogner Stadium. It's been quite the one-way game so far.
It has. Let's see if we can see some changes in the Norwegian play. We have seen 2 passes coming up the middle of the field.
That's nice.
Great passing, yeah.
This is, even though they're getting broken here, at least they're trying something. They're trying to drive the ball forward, trying to come in for some passing game and actually accumulating some speed on the midfield.
Yes, and with that move, they got further up in the field with the ball than they have with just hitting long balls and trying to take them down.
Instead, we have the Swedes coming once again here, trying to play that back and build up once again. And for once, the Norwegian team stood pretty well here with their midfield.
That's a great ball. Oh. I think also Norway has tightened their defense a little bit. They've pulled down the forwards and the offensive midfielders, so they have more connection with the defense and the defensive midfielders, so that Sweden can't come through the middle as easy as they have in the first 25 minutes.
Additional time in the match. 1 minute.
You can see the Swedes coming over once again. They're driving through on the right side, taking the pass in the middle, and that is a miracle that they don't get a hold of that ball right in front of the goal line. That was Linnea Larsson, who really would have liked to have that chance back.
Look at this. That's just centimeters from another goal for Sweden there.
It's a beautiful play, and it's absolutely masterpiece of a start here from the right side, and it's only Linnea Larsson who doesn't quite read that pass correctly. Turning into a bit of an anticlimactical game here. We have terrible weather, and so far the Norwegian team has not been able to do much with the ball, but for those who really like to watch great skilled female bandy, Sweden is putting up a show here.
Yes, they are, and Norway gave them the opportunity to show their best side in the start. With the wind, everything goes a little bit faster, and it's hard to to stop the Swedish team when they're coming forward. And it's very fun to see how, even though the ice is not the best, they play very good bandy here, Sweden. Through again.
Misses that clearance. Instead, we have Matilda Plan, who once again steals the ball, and she forces that out
to corner. No, I think it's goalkeeper's ball. Let's see what
it was hard to see what the referee was actually pointing at there, but they're lining up for a corner kick, so I'm guessing that was the decision. It looked for a second there as though, yeah, they're just pointing on the opposite side here.
Yeah. First left corner for Sweden.
Frida Rutqvist, who's going to take that from the left side. Comes in with the second shooter, hits the helmet. Good defensive line on the line here for Norway. And I'm always impressed with the players who stands their ground even though it comes head high, because it's very easy to reflexively move to the side here, but they stand tall. And that was the captain, Lene Skrettingland, who took that with the helmet. And it's a great shot.
It's a great shot. I mean, you don't have a lot of space between the helmet and the rib to get a goal, so to put it in between there, it's hard.
So we have 1 minute left to play of the first half. In addition, we have 1 minute of extra time here. That's to compensate for the timeout that was taken by Norway. And now, once again, we have the Swedes trying to drive forwards here with Gustafsson. She leaves the ball, and it's a good pace here, leading up for Vilma Josefsson, but also good defensive line here for Norway.
Gets a free stroke. Takes it quickly.
Oh, that's beautiful here from the Swedes. All along, also a great save here by the Norwegian goalkeeper.
Matilda Plan is through. It's a great save.
Another Matilde who stands tall in the Norwegian goal, Matilde Langmo. And we talked about it, they have to stabilize after the timeout, and so far after the timeout we've yet to see a Swedish goal, which is at least a positive for Norway.
Yeah, it is, even though Norway started off fresh with after the timeout with the ball and a great attack. The Swedish team has run the play, but Norway has not conceded, and that's a positive feeling.
I think we can guarantee that Norway is probably going to put a player now on the backside. We saw Sanna Gustafsson who tried to find that position, sliding in from the back of the box as well, but she's not allowed to stand alone this time. Instead, it comes a short side pass, which hits Norwegian club, and we go out to what is going to be the finishing corner stroke of the half.
Yeah, they're probably going to get the message that it's one stroke.
But on the last shot they had on goal from a corner, it almost went in, hit the helmet of Skrettingland.
One attempt on corner stroke. Time is out. One attempt at the corner stroke.
And it doesn't hit the goal here from Lisa Östman, and instead we have 6-0 to the Swedish team. It's been quite the massacre here so far, but we also have a guest coming in to talk a little bit about this first half. We have Malin Andersson, who's not playing in this game against Norway, and going to have a little bit of a discussion to hear what this Swedish team are doing right so far. And first we're going to hear a little bit about what they have to see down on the field. And Matilda Plan, it's been one way so far.
Ja, nej, men jag tycker att vi gör en väldigt bra första halvlek och vi lirar boll och alla är med och delaktiga, så att jag tycker att vi gör en väldigt bra första halvlek.
Men ble det en lite annorlunda match än ni hade sett för dere med tanke på vind och väder och sådär?
Ja, nej, vi visste väl att det regnade, men vi trodde inte att det skulle gå att spela så mycket som det har gjort, men det här passar oss väldigt bra.
Du får ett extremt tempo på mitten. Hur är det att spela med vinden i ryggen, sånt som det här?
Nej, men det är jätteskönt att få lite extra push i anfallen liksom, så att det är alltid skönt med vind.
Tack så mycket och lycka till i annan omgång.
Tack så jättemycket.
And now we have the Norwegian captain here, Lene Skrettinglang, and we're going to be doing this in Norwegian in the half. So I'm going to be asking the questions in Norwegian here to Lene Skrettinglang. And det har vært en tøff omgang her så langt. Hvordan vil du oppsummere første omgangen?
Nei, altså, jeg synes vi blir overkjørt i perioder. Det er ikke noe å legge skjul på det. Vi prøver å dunke langt, men vi får ikke fram til det vi vil. Så blir det kjempestort hull på midten, så blir vi rundspilt, for å si det mildt.
Er det det at de får et par raske skåringer som gjør at dere kollapser litt, eller er det vinden som er vanskelig å spille mot, eller er det andre faktorer der?
Jeg kunne ønske vi kunne skylde bare på vinden, men nei, jeg synes ikke at vi mister det heller. Så jeg tror vi klarer å komme oss litt etter timeouten, så vil vi se hva andre gang bringer.
Ja, for det står 0-0 etter timeout. Er det nå mobilisert på nytt, og det står 0-0 i deres hode, og dere spiller for å få en god følelse før i morgen?
Ja, både det, og så fikk vi satt presset litt annerledes etter timeouten. Vi ble enige om hvor vi skulle stå, og da ble vi litt tettere. Så vi håper at vind i ryggen og i andre omgang gjør underverker.
Lykke til.
Takk skal du ha.
And to summarize what the girls are saying here so far, it's a Norwegian player who is not trying to hide the fact that they're getting absolutely massacred out here. And Jesper, do you agree with her?
I agree. Sweden has run the show here in the first half. Let's hope Norway comes out with a little more to fight back with in the second half, get the wind in the back, and try to get some shots on goal and some great attacks.
We're going to be take in a guest here in the studio as well, which is Malin Andersson. And Malin, I hope you can hear me here properly as well, but how was it to look at this game from the side? What are the Swedes doing right out here?
They are playing after our game plan, and I think we didn't start as good as we want to, but after a few minutes we came more into the game. It's quite hard to play on this ice. It's soft and it's raining and it's windy, so the passes doesn't really came to the right player. But I think we find it out how to play to handle the ice. So I think they're doing a really great job out there.
What can you guys take from this match when you're up 6-0 like this and it's a complete domination? What can you take from this match for what is most likely a final game against Russia?
What we can take.
How you can use this game to actually get ready for such a match?
It's a lot of chances to score, and it's to do score you have a match against Russia or in a final you doesn't get so many chances. Yeah. So it's really good that we are making a lot of chances out there and actually scoring.
Yeah, because the finishing has been absolutely amazing. I mean, it's either been top corner or between the legs every single time.
Yeah, they are doing really good.
And can you please tell me about that first free stroke that you have that you score? Is that something that you've been working on before this tournament, or is it something that they find in the moment?
No, we haven't been practicing at this moment, but we have talking a lot of different options. So this was one of them.
Did you think that it was going to be 6-0 at halftime here?
No, I didn't. But we have the wind in the back, and it's quite easier to play when you have the wind in the back. Now it's the other way. We have to go to attack with the wind against us, and that's harder. It is.
We can use a metaphor that fits the weather right now. When it rains, it pours.
Yes.
Good luck to you guys in the second half, and good luck in the semi-final and the final.
Thank you so much.
Again, we are proud to present in the championship
And welcome back here for the second half at Frogner Stadion. It's Sweden who's up 6-0 in a very, very cold, windy and rainy day here at the group stage of the 2020 World Championship against Norway.
Yeah, the wind is still here.
The wind is definitely still here, and it's still affecting both the players and also the audience, as we could have seen from that picture. But there is one positive here on a red, white and blue standpoint, and that's the fact that Norway has now got the wind on their backs.
Yeah, let's hope they can push up a little bit more in the field and set some pressure on the Swedish team.
They may have talked a lot about this in the wardrobe also during the halftime break, though, and maybe they get a little bit over-ambitious here, thinking that the wind is going to make all the difference, because while it helps, it's not something that is a complete game changer.
No, that's true, and let's hope that they are so professional that they know that they have to work hard in the defense as well. The wind won't do it for them, as you say. They have to work hard.
Noticing here that the entire Norwegian team is almost starting out on the same point there until they decide to separate later on. They're giving the Swedes a lot of time to build up from their own backside and starting on a really low point, which is something that is quite natural, considering that the Swedes have higher skating ability than the Norwegian team.
It is, but also the wind in the first half made them not being able to push up as much as they maybe want to. I hope that Norway will stand up a little bit more here in the second half. That way they won't have so far to the Swedish goal when they win the ball.
Swedes are coming up here now and trying to finish from the left side, putting that into the middle. That's a good defensive effort by Norway, and instead Norway can take over here on their own 16. And it seems like we have an injury on the other side of the field where a Swedish player is down.
Yeah, I think it was a crash there after she passed the ball. Let's hope she's okay.
This is a little scary because the way they're stretching that leg, it looks like it's a knee problem here for the Swedish girl.
And that's Matilda Svendrell, I think. Svendler.
We see that she takes her hand to her leg before she even hits the ice here. It's clearly a problem with her knee. Matilda Svendler, who's been one of the stronger players for this Swedish team.
Yeah, she has. She scored the important 3-2 goal in the last minute versus Russia to win them the game, and let's hope she's just in pain and nothing seriously that makes her unable to play the rest of the day or the tournament. That would be very bad news for the Swedish team.
We're not going to make this a discussion about the wind the entire time, but there's one piece of bad news for the Norwegians right now, and that's the fact that the wind is turning.
The wind is turning. Now it's coming from the side, not from the back as it did in the first half.
But at least with a side wind, they're playing on even terms. No team has the specific advantage now.
That's true, but as Sweden had the advantage in the first half, it's too bad for the Norwegians if the wind turns now.
A little bit far here for some of the Swedish girls. We can see which direction the wind is blowing now when we're talking about a side wind, because we can see it taking that ball and really driving it away from the Swedish players. But Norway's trying to build up from their backside and struggles through here the first line of defense, and suddenly we have something happening up for Norway.
Wins the ball back there, Norway. That's very good defense play.
The build up here first through the right side, plays it to Krogsven. Krogsven loses the ball. Instead we have Sweden coming here on a counter with Malin Persson, who's driving the ball, goes to a shot and shoots that a little bit wide right here for the Swedish team.
Yeah, but I think it's positive to see that Norway holds the ball in the team and drives it forward on the ice, not just hitting it away and giving Sweden the ball. But again, it's important that they don't lose the ball in the middle or their own half, because Sweden are dangerously good at the counter-attacks.
One thing that I often see that separates the top teams from the second-tier teams is really often the strength of skating and ability to move the ball from the back line. You can see the Swedish team, they have no problem moving the ball when it comes to their right or left backs or players who are predominantly in a defensive position. Instead, now we have once again Matilda Plan. She goes for a shot, and this time she hits the goalkeeper and out for a corner.
We can see Norway has made a goalkeeper change in the second half.
It's a good save. Gets down and covers that spot between the legs. That's the same location where Sweden scored 2 goals to begin this game. Well, that's a beautiful shot here by Lisa Östman. She's the second shooter. They fake the shot at the first shooter, and instead it goes all the way back to Östman, who puts that above the goalie's head, and we have a 7-0 game.
That's a great goal from Sweden. When you play the corners like this, precise, and you get that kind of hit on the ball, almost impossible for a goalkeeper to stop. Straight up in the roof of the goal.
I matchen, og Sverige øker til 7-0 på Norge. Målskår for Sverige 0-2. Lisa Østman, assistert av 18 Anna Poselius. Sverige øker 7-0 på Norge.
Gustafsson som velger å slå langt her. Og blir til slutt stanset fra Sander. Once again, they get through on the left side here, Sweden. But no one to play the ball to, and they decide to build up once again. And that's one of the few times we've actually seen the Swedish team approach without filling up the box.
Yeah, turning home, playing the ball far home, A shot from a distance there, easy for a Norwegian goalkeeper. But as you mentioned before, watch how the Swedes passes the ball on the club at the right time every time. Hard, precise passes. That's something that Norway can work with.
We have Selbekk. She's been quite invisible this game so far. She's supposed to be the driving force behind this Norwegian team, but she's been really taken care of by the Swedish team, and also the woman who has really made the biggest mark so far is player number 24, Matilda Plan.
Yeah, and that's a great goal. Gets the ball out by the side, just drives through the whole Norwegian defense around the goalkeeper and puts the ball in the net.
She's talking about in halftime here, Plan, that she loves playing with the wind on her back because it's almost like a little bit of a cheat code. She can just ride the wind, but right now she's riding the waves quite nicely on this watery pitch at Frogner Stadium, and she's playing an extremely good match.
Yeah, she's turning out to be the big player of this game so far.
It's two good defensive plays by the Norwegian team here. Two clean tackles. They get to take over the ball.
Let's see if they can come around and get a corner here.
Well, at least they get a stroke from the side here. That may lead to something. They get a shot at goal.
Yeah.
And that's a fair try. At least get it on goal, hope for a rebound and come in, but that's good goalkeeping here from Sara Karlström. Selbekk. There's a drive through the couple of Swedish players here. She gets hampered enough in that move that Norway eventually end up giving away the ball. And Gustafsson decides to take that stroke from the side. That's a nice try. Very nice try here from the Swedes, but getting a little bit too late, and instead the Norwegian goalkeeper gets a start.
Oh. Norway are struggling a bit now to get the ball up in the field, getting attacked by the Swedes, losing the ball close to their own goal.
Instead here we have a free stroke here for the Swedes. Once again they play it to the side. Matilda Plan, who plays that towards the goalkeeper. A little bit of struggle here from Norwegian goalkeeper, but eventually they manage to clear the ball.
Yeah, but here comes another try from the side. Norwegian cleans that out. And Sweden starts over. Watch on the back now.
Good stop here from Norway. They're trying to start something. They're running up, but there are only two players against the six
That's a good pass.
Swedish defenders. Good pass here, though. They have a chance to go to a shot. Ooh. That's a pretty decent attempt here by Norway.
That's a good counter-attack. Two passes there. great passes forward in the field, and the shot that's a little high and outside the goal.
Still, Laura Follesø, she gets a pretty good hit on that ball, considering that she's pretty well guarded in that situation. But to look at the positives here from Norway, they took a timeout at about 21 minutes in the first half, and since that time, they're only behind 2-0, if that is a positive. At least they're doing a lot better than they did in the initial 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah, they are, and let's hope that they don't give up and continue to work with the defense and try not to concede as many goals as in the first 21 minutes. And they will, as we see, get chances forward. Here comes another one maybe.
Selbekk who drives.
Tries to flip it through, but it's stopped by the Swedish defense, and that's very good defense play there from the Swedes.
You can see that Norway is trying to put up the pressure a little bit higher on Sweden now and causing a few problems this time, though. The referee says that they're using a little too rough means to stop the Swedes, and the Swedes get to start over. Losing the ball, we have Selbekk who's coming through on the left side. She's trying to angle.
She has a great shot. Oh.
Falls a little behind when she takes that shot. It's a good chance actually there. She's quite open when it comes to the shot position that she ends up being in.
Yeah, and she has a great shot from the right side, so it's too bad she doesn't hit the goal there. Give the goalkeeper a little bit to work with, but let's hope for Norway's part that the Swedes continue to go forward and the Norwegians can get some counterattacks. The Swedes are constantly attacking with the wind in their face, so they will get tired eventually, I think. And maybe some more chances for Norway will open up.
Sweden once again starting here from the left side, but that runs away from Frida Rudqvist, and instead we have a ball here with Norwegian goalkeeper, and decide to start it out with a little bit more play than what I did in the first half. They're dropping the ball short, trying to play their way up towards the Swedish line, but this time they run into a wall. Skrettingland who goes down, but seems to be fine and is back up on the ice. This stadium that we're playing at here, Frogner Stadium, may also be quite a hindrance to this Norwegian team because it's a quite wide stadium, and that usually benefits the better skating teams.
It does, and it also means more space to pass the ball.
We can see that the Swedes are really good at using the entire pitch. They do play with their designated winger positions, which it's not typical for all teams. A lot of teams just play with more defensive or offensively minded midfielder positions, whereas this Swedish team is very, very concerned about using the entire pitch the whole time.
They are, and they also know that the Norwegian team wants to be compact in the middle and defend the middle of the field. I think that's why they're using the outsides much, trying to pass the ball in the middle when they have dragged the Norwegian team out to the sides like here.
Gustafsson, who spreads the Norwegian team a little bit thin, but that's a good job working back into the middle by the Norwegians, and they get into position quickly after being drawn out.
Yeah, and that's what they struggled with in the first half. When they were dragged out to one side, a pass comes in the middle and the Norwegian team was all out on the side and spread all over the field, and the mid was all open. This is a great attack from Sweden.
Good shot and a good goal here by Sweden once again with number 21 Linnea Larsson. But what a pass here from Matilda Plan. She has really been the player of the game so far here, number 24, who has the assist on this goal.
Outstanding pass there from Matilda Plan. As you say, pushes a little bit into the middle, makes the Norwegian defense have to tighten up and just give the ball out to
Larsson puts that in the backside, but it's not obviously it's not a finished goal. It's a great finish here by Larsson.
It's a great finish. It's a hard shot and it's out by the
That means we had 9-0. We played 49 minutes, 11 minutes left to play here at Frogner, and Norway's really got to step up their game if they want to keep this in single digits.
I think we will see a shot from number 11 here, Sanna Gustafsson.
You're very correct in your assumption, but for once she actually misses her shot here. It ends up being a floater going well wide of the goal. And in a game where it's been hard to find the positives for Norway, I still like the effort that is being put down by Laura Follesø, number 15 on the Norwegian team. She is getting in position. She almost gets the ball there. Instead, it goes back for another shot, and that's a good try, and that's a goal! That is player number 8. And that is a Stabæk player, Helle Berntsen Lillejord, who puts that in the far corner, and that's a wonderful shot here by Lillejord.
Yeah, it's a wonderful shot. It's all the way down by the post. It's very hard for the goalkeeper to reach out. Maybe she's a little bit surprised. Let's see. No, that's just all the way out. Great shot.
Wonderful shot by this player. Is not only a great shooter, she's also a great team player. Do you know that she actually bought her own coffee machine that she brought to the hotel here because she did not want to experience any more bad World Championship coffee?
Wow, no, I did not know.
So if you're looking for good coffee, you have to find the room number of Berntsen Lillejord. She's got the whole team supplied here.
Wow.
But it's also a great shot by the Stabæk player. And that means Norway is on the board.
And that's good. And as I said, there will come chances for Norway as the Swedes try to play even more attacking in this facing the win.
It's interesting with these World Championship events because these are obviously girls who are playing in different countries for different clubs, and it's the one chance to really get together. And I like how they're doing it, even though it's played in Oslo, where a lot of the girls are from originally. They still live together at the hotel and get that feel of being a national team and really getting that team feeling properly set.
That's a part of the experience, you know, to live at the hotel, to be with the team.
And that's a tackle here on Selbekk. She's being taken down by the Swedish players. Could have almost been a 10-minute there.
Could have been for tripping, but
she's on her way through when she's taken down by the Swedish player.
She is, but I think a free stroke is fair. As the shots hit the Swedish player there in the hand. Plan.
And once again, we have Plan who's getting through on the right side. She's going for a shot. It's a really acute angle and goes over pitch. And there's a little bit of a struggle on the side there with Matilda Plan getting mad at the Norwegian player and hitting her, trying to hit her with club. But she gets away with it. I don't think the referees were paying attention that way, but she did not like the Norwegian player hanging on.
If the referees had seen that, that's a red card.
That was Nora Carita Bakke, who was perhaps hanging on a little too tightly to Matilda Plan, making her mad there.
Yeah, but there's no excuse for hitting another player with the stick, of course. The players are allowed to tackle and have body contact. So you need to... Let's see if Norway can counter-attack here.
They get a free stroke in a semi-dangerous position here in Norway.
If they can put a little more people in the box this time than last time and hit one of them, we might get a chance here.
Ruti Borge, who plays this into the middle, and this can be dangerous. This is falling. Oh, that's a great chance for the Norwegian team. Almost 2 in a row here for Norway now. That is bouncing in front of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's a great play. Just put the ball there in front of the goalkeeper and try to put it in. Almost reaches Charlotte Selbekk there.
But instead, we have a counter-attack all the way through, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and no problem here for Malin Persson, and suddenly we are up to 10-1 Sweden.
Yeah, and that's how fast Bandy is. Norway has a chance in one end, and suddenly Sweden goes up and scores a goal before you're finished talking about that chance.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems as though it's a Norwegian team that lets their guard down. They're not paying proper attention. They're suddenly be dominating play, and they get a little bit lazy in their back defending.
Yeah, and again, Matilda Plan pulling all the defenders on herself and just passing the ball out to a player who's free with the goalkeeper, and that's a great goal and a great pass from Plan.
Once again, she gets either an assist or a goal here at Matilda Plan. She's been a great player, but we also got to credit these great finishers like Malin Persson had. She does everything correctly, doesn't get stressed at any point, and it's a perfect finish.
Yeah, and as we talked with Malin Andersson here in half-time, she said that it's great to see that the Swedes are getting goals from the chances they create as they are going to the semi-finals and probably the finals as well. They need to put their chances in the goal.
Emma Lander, who had a shot possibility here but couldn't quite get that on goal, and suddenly Norway's trying to break instead, but they're getting broken up in the middle now quite often.
Matches tomorrow at 11 sharp tomorrow.
And then we have yet another goal for the Swedes breaking through here, and it's player number 21, Linnea Larsson, who breaks through again. That's her 3rd goal for the day, and maybe not 3 in a row, but we call it a hat-trick regardless here, Jesper.
Yeah, we do, and again, look at Plan. Pulling all the players, just shooting that in. That's a little bit lucky, hitting a Swedish player there, but
she's involved in everything. Either she's assisting or she's scoring on absolutely every single goal today.
Yeah, she has a great day at work, and she's where the ball is, and with the stick she has, the passing she has, and the speed she has, she's very hard to stop.
She usually has the same employer as her Norwegian counterpart, Selbekk. They play for Västerås, and There's quite a few Västerås players out here. We have Ingrid Bjonge on the Norwegian team. We have Selbekk on the Norwegian team.
And we have Carl Knudsen as well.
Carl Knudsen is plays for Västerås, and in addition to this, we have Sara Karlström, the goalkeeper. We have Virvar Lander, which is in the team. Malin Persson, Malin Kuhl, and then obviously Matilda Plan, and then Emilie Åkerlund, all playing for this Västerås team, and it's no wonder that they've been quite a dominating force.
No, it's not. Västerås has built a great women's team who took the Swedish championship last year on penalties against Skutskär. Also a team well represented here on the field today in the Swedish team.
And here we have a Skutskär player, Gustafsson, coming through on the right side and hitting in Norwegian, and thereby leading to a corner stroke here for the Swedish team, who is leading 11-1 as we're approaching full time. And it's been probably a physically straining match for these girls as well. It's cold, it's rainy, it's very windy out here, and it's difficult conditions to play bandy. We're talking about these Swedish players who play for a team who have at least one of them have the nicest indoor rink that you find anywhere. It's a bit of a contradiction right now.
It is, and the girls we have talked to also says the ice is very soft, and it makes it very much heavier to walk on. And I'm sure they're gonna sleep good tonight. All the girls have played 2 matches today in this weather, and yeah, that they will feel that tomorrow.
Selbekk trying to shake loose Ida Friman. It's tough to get loose of these Swedish players because they stay on heavily, and I'm a little bit surprised here by the Norwegian Västerås player coming in on the side, because Carl Knudsen, she is chasing, but when the opposition has a chance of actually not taking down the ball, she stops her run when it comes through. That's if it's one thing I like to say to all bandy players, it's the fact that if you hit a long ball, at least expect the defender to make a mistake, because it happens so often.
Yeah, you have to take the chance that the ball runs through.
And the referee blows for full time here at Frogner Stadium. It's been a one-way domination for the Swedish team. They win 11-1 against Norway. And what can we say about this Swedish team? They do play on a different level than practically all other teams, and it seems as though the only competition they will get is Russia.
Definitely. The Swedish team has the ball and has such good control of the ball and always keeps the pace up on their skates. It's hard for any team, also Russia, to defend against that. It's fun to see such a great team play bandy here in Norway at Frogner Stadium. We just gotta enjoy it, and let's hope the Norwegian girls don't take this match with them tomorrow. It's a fresh start, and Russia is a little bit different team to play against. They doesn't play the ball as much as Sweden does, but are definitely as good on the skates, so it will be fun to see.
And also, the weather prognosis is saying that tomorrow is going to be a completely different game. We're going to have good ice, we're going to have good conditions, the wind is going down, it's not going to rain anymore, which is probably an advantage to this Russian team, but still, it'll be interesting to see how we can stand up against them. As for the Swedes, they're going to take on Finland in their semi-final. Finland shouldn't be a problem for a Swedish team that gets it going like they're doing today, should it?
No, it should not be a problem. If they play on the level they did today and with perfect conditions, they should have no problem with advancing to the final. it will be exciting to see if they can get on this level again tomorrow. It's not easy to play good game and good periods all the time, but Sweden does not have a bad period in this match. They control it from minute 0 to minute 61, so just a great team.
And can we say anything about player number 24 today, Matilda Plan?
Matilda Plan was outstanding today. A great player with using the pace on her skates.
And then we're going to switch to Norwegian a little bit here, because we're going to speak to the only Norwegian goal scorer of the day, Helle Berntsen Lillejord. Det var en fantastisk scoring. Kan vi starte der?
Jo, takk for det. Det en tøff kamp I dag. Vi sliter litt med oppladningen. Litt tett på forrige match. Ja, men scoringen var fin, den.
Ja, det et norsk lag som sliter litt med å mobilisere, altså? Er det fysikken det går på, eller det andre ting også?
Nei, jeg føler ikke at vi var helt på fra start I dag. Vi slår litt feil på taktikken, kjører vi har veldig strekk I laget hele veien, så det blir tøft.
Altså man tenker jo I forkant av en sånn her match at ruskevær, vind, dårlig is, tilsvarende. Det kanskje Norge som tjener på det, men det ikke alltid det blir sånn I praksis, det vel?
Nei, altså det kan hende vi tjener litt på litt ruskevær, men nei, vi kjører det vi har nå, og så får vi bare fokusere mot semifinale.
Det ryktes at for de som trenger å få opp energinivået etter denne kampen, så har du gått til innkjøp på ny kaffemaskin. Byr du alle jentene nå på kopper etter kampen?
Nå blir det en espresso på rommet til Lillejord.
Lykke til I morgen mot Russland. Hva tenker du om den kampen? Har dere sjans?
Vi har sjans. Vi synes vi gjorde en bra kamp mot Russland I dag. Så hvis vi kjører på, så det håp.
Lykke til I den matchen. Det skal bli gøy å følge dere, og kampen den ser dere også da her.
Takk for det.
Og så skal vi få en prat med Linnea Larsson. Det så ut som at absolutt alt som du fikk på køllen I dag gikk I mål. Hur det å avslutte I krysset varje gång?
Nej, men det kul när det bara flyter på så där. Speciellt när det här vädret, när det lite motigt och så, men det är skönt.
Var det ett sämre Norge än vad dere hade förväntat idag?
Nej, absolut inte. Jag tycker att vi får ju in tidiga mål och snabba mål också efter varann. Jag vet inte vad det står efter. Norge tar timeout efter 22 minuter och det står 6-0, så att ja, nej, det var ett bra kämpat Norge ändå. Trots resultatet.
I semifinalen så venter jo da Finland för Hur ser dere på Finland og den matchen?
Jo, Finland ett riktigt bra motstånd. De spelar väldigt tufft och så det blir en bra semifinal.
Det har varit intressant å se deg spille tillsammans med Matilda Plan. Dere ser ut som om dere kan lese hverandre hvor enn dere på isen. Hur det samarbetet?
Nej, men det är kul. Det är det som är roligt att spela I landslaget, att det är så många som är så duktiga, och en av dem är Matilda Plan, så det är nära att få spela med henne.
Da ønsker jeg dere lykke til mot Finland og også I en eventuell finale.
Ja, tusen tack. Tack.
And just to summarize what these girls were saying there, the Swedish girl, Linnea Larsson, she did not think that Norway necessarily put in a bad match here, but she did believe that a sharp start, scoring on their chances, really made a difference, and you would agree with that, Jesper?
I would agree. We can see here they put in 3 goals from minute 16 to minute 18, and they did well, and I think they did not overstate, but they were clearly a better team, and Norway came too short.
It was a difficult game here for Norway, and as the Norwegian player Lillejord was saying, that it's also tough to play 2 games in one day. They really went all out against Russia. They lost 2-0, and then they had to mobilize for a really quick game against Sweden, and that did make a difference. But right now, we're going to say thank you for following us for this broadcast in the last group stage match. Tomorrow, the semifinals begin. Now, we're going to take a look on some of the highlights of today's match. Thank you very much.
Thank you.